Hello Carlito fans. How are you all today? I will explain the most awaited American supernatural horror movie of 2025, which is Final Destination Bloodlines. This movie is very good, and is the first movie whose rating was 6 something in the beginning, but now it has become 7.2 out of 10, and this is the 6th installment in the Final Destination series, where all the previous movies come together, and why what was happening in the first 5 movies was happening. That is, how do the premonitions that happen here happen? And what was happening, is it a curse? Or if there is something else, then what about it? You will get to know more about it, but you will understand everything here. And you don't even need to see the previous movie here. You will understand everything, and you can understand it as a sequel or prequel all at once. And this is the best reviewed movie till now. It is very good in this franchise. So let's go straight to the final destination of the Bloodlines movie without any delay. The movie starts in 1969, and we see Iris and her boyfriend Paul, where Paul was taking Iris for a surprise visit today. He brings her to a place and removes her blindfolds, after which, seeing the view in front of her, turns and stops, because today Paul has brought her to Sky View Restaurant, which is the longest restaurant till tallest restaurant till date at 494 feet, i.e. 494 feet tall restaurant, which has been opened just today. The opening is about to happen. Paul is very excited, and Iris is very happy with this. She was just a little nervous, meaning that going to such a height seemed very dangerous to her. Now they go inside, and we see a child outside putting coins in the fountain, which was a very weird thing. A guard stops him, telling him not to do this because it brings bad luck, so the child leaves after hearing this. Meanwhile, Iris Campbell and Paul go in the lift, which is the longest lift till date, which can carry a weight of 9,000 tons. Now the hotel staff here becomes very happy and excited, and just by looking at the liftman we can understand that his happiness had no limits, as he was greeting everyone very happily and telling about the specialties of this place. He further says that this restaurant was completed 5 months before its scheduled time, which explains that I think this is a very messed up thing here. Everyone is very excited, happy, enjoying, and that child also comes here and goes to the sky view. While leaving, Iris started feeling a little scared. He was getting a little nervous. It means that he starts having a reenactment of his death, which will not happen directly. But here he was feeling something very different, as if his mind was telling him to stay here and go back to the things around him. It was feeling very strange to him anyways. Now everyone goes up by lift, and on reaching the top section, Paul asks the reception for his reservation table, but the receptionist refuses him, as Paul, the table, could not be reserved, due to which he gets very upset. He goes to Iris. Both of them talk, and now he was feeling a little strange, as it was feeling like vomit, so she goes to the washroom. Now the dancing and singing was going on here, people were drinking, music was playing. But in the meantime, once the tender opens the champagne, whose cap hits the chandelier hanging above due to pressure, and a pointed piece breaks off from it and falls down. Now all the people were dancing here, and the floor of the Skyview restaurant was half made of glass in the middle, and the part which we had seen breaking from the chandelier before hits the glass directly on the glass of this floor, due to which a crack came there. Now we can see the building joints hanging below, which was shaking because the weight was too much, which explains that there was no point in making it 5 months ago. If they took a little more time, it could have been better, and I believe that it had a weak point here. But now Iris finds this singer performing inside the restaurant, singer with her son, who, while talking to Iris, asks her how long she is pregnant. She looks like, to which she says 2 months, but this, she had not told Paul about this yet, and she was afraid to explain why she vomited and why she was feeling strange. Well, the lady blesses her and starts spending time with her son. Now Iris comes back to Paul, who takes her to an open space, and now he proposes her for marriage in the course of conversation, which makes her very happy. Now Iris finally tells Paul about her pregnancy, but as she was expecting that he will get angry on hearing it does not happen at all. On the contrary, he becomes very happy, and he makes her wear the ring, which is a little tight, but she says that it is right. Now here, we see the same child who was throwing coins down below. A guard stops him, saying that don't do this at all, it can kill someone. It is possible that if a coin falls on someone from above, then the impact will be exactly like a bullet. Obviously from such a high floor, even a small thing can be very dangerous due to the gravitational force. Well, that child does not listen to her and keeps throwing the coin, which gets into the vents due to the air pressure, and gets stuck in a fan. And you should keep in mind here that these coins are very important here. Well, here Aris, Campbell and Paul were dancing with the others, and gradually the crack kept increasing, and it had become quite big on the other side. The coin came out of the fan and hit a pipe and bounced away, and now here flammable gas was also leaking. Aris and Paul were very happy and were dancing, but they had no idea about them. Well, then Aris senses something there, and she starts moving back herself, and moves away from that glass section which had broken the glass ceiling as soon as it was removed. And now many people started falling down from a height of 494 feet. Now Aris tries to save the ball, but he also falls down and ends up. That means here the glass breaks, and Iris's dreams also break, and the building is shattered. Now the joints also break, and on the other side chaos starts getting created, and there a lady who is there catches fire and is running, but she comes near a vent where the gas is also leaking, and now a terrible fire spreads there. Ars somehow saves herself, and she sees the singer burning in front of her eyes. Before it ends, she saves her son by putting him in a box. And that's it, parents try to save their child. The fire had spread everywhere. A glass section had also broken, and the building bent from the joint where it was broken. It falls down, many people fall down, but they are saved by the window glass. Now the coin which had come on the chandelier falls down from there, and the piano which was right in the middle comes to one side. Now the glass hits the window which kills many. Some people tried to escape by lift, but the lift could not bear the weight. And what happens is that the lift breaks. Many people get crushed to death while the piano is running, and the receptionist who was trying to get inside gets split in two parts, and some people take the stairs. And the piano also breaks in half, in which everyone got killed except the kid with the coin was left, who comes down and is happy that he survived. But by then the piano falls on him and silences him forever. And now finally the coin that he was putting inside since the beginning goes back into the fountain, which really indicates that what bad luck is after all now. Here we see that Ars was the only one left, with whom she meets Singer's son, whom she tries very hard to save and starts taking him away. But now both of them slip and get stuck, in which what happens is that the ring that Paul had put on Ars's finger got stuck in a place in which Iris's skin along with the ring gets torn, and now both of them fall down and die. Well, now the scene shifts here to the present time, and this was the introduction of the final destination, Bloodlines. The end, I think the beginning was so strong, so what will happen next? So keep watching for it. Well, from here the scene shifts to the present time, where we see a girl named Stephanie, who had been having terrible nightmares about Ayers and the disaster that happened at that time, due to which she was very disturbed. Now she talks to her friend and tells her that Ayers is actually her grandmother, whom she has never met. But still, why does she see her in her dreams? What was the accident? And what all happened? She starts thinking. She had a lot of questions, and to find the answers, she goes to her home where her father and brother Charlie meet her. Her mother Darlene left her when she was 10 somewhere. Stephanie talks to her father about Aris, but he doesn't tell her much. She goes to her uncle Howard's house with her brother Charlie and meets her other cousins. She talks to her uncle, asks him about Aris and this disaster. He tells her that nothing like this happened. That is, what we saw in the beginning was that. Then he tells her that Aris had just gone mad, who killed herself. She started to imprison other people, due to which her children were separated from her, and even then she did not stop and kept sending strange letters and disturbing pictures, due to which everyone lost connection with her. And I believe that maybe she is still alive. Well, now Stephanie's uncle tells her not to talk about Iris and stay away from her. But Stephanie had a lot of questions, so she does not listen, and takes the address from those letters and goes to meet Aris. So Iris actually lives alone in a bunker-like place away from the city, and keeps checking the doors with cameras. Well, now Stephanie tells Aris about herself. I start telling her, but she asks him to come inside without his phone and keys, for which there was only one reason, and we know what that reason is, and that is bad deaths in Final Destination. Because a lot of deaths here have happened. Because of this, well, now both of them talk, and Iris reveals that the nightmares that Stephanie was having today were actually Iris's vision that day. What was shown to us in the beginning did not happen in reality, but it was going to happen. She had already seen the full glimpse of what was going to happen, so she saved everyone, and Death did not like this thing, i.e. hear this. The entity is none other than Death, which claims people. According to Death, no person should have existed there. So one by one, Death started claiming everyone. and Death tried to target Aris as well. She had already lost Paul, but Death's plan. She has understood everything about his method over the years. She has researched and prepared a book on how Death can kill people. She wants to destroy Aris's entire bloodline. She cheated Death in this way. And I also think that Iris should have been the only survivor that day, because Death had shown the predominating to her only, but we humans have a habit, that if we have a feeling like this, then we try to save everyone. But Iris should have been the only survivor, but she saved everyone, due to which Death was after her bloodline. Now Stephanie is very upset, and starts to leave, to whom she wanted to give the book also, so that he can save the people of her bloodline. But Stephanie leaves the house. Aris knew that if she leaves, she will be finished, but Stephanie, she comes out to reassure him and leaves, exactly as she had thought, and ends up exactly like that. Now in the next scene, Aris's funeral takes place, and by now Darlene has also returned, which Stephanie is not happy to see, because she had left her in her childhood, for which Stephanie never forgave her. Now the next day she is at home, and the others are at Howard's house for a party where Darlene also comes, whom he asks to come back to his family, but she refuses. Here Stephanie remembers Aris's words, and she becomes very alert. She looks at that book, in which there was also the coin with the child in it, which was going to be a sky view disaster. There were all the details of how people could die from cars to trucks with wood, or how, and there was a plane and the final destination. One deaths happened on the plane itself, and trust me, I only saw the first part. One had seen it, and the plane scene still gives me chills. And whenever I boarded a flight in the beginning, this scene always kept playing in my mind. But when I stopped watching these movies in time, such things stopped coming to my mind. But ever since I have seen Bloodlines, a lot of things are going on in my mind again. And if something like this happened to you in your childhood, or it happens now, then do let me know in the comments section. And I would like to tell you again that the incident in the beginning was only shown by Death to Aris here. A vision was shown, but such an incident never happened, because here he had saved everyone. And due to this, Death was very angry that why did he save everyone, because of which now people were dying one by one, and now Death wants to destroy the bloodline of Ayers. And now, well, now there were newspaper cuttings of all the deaths which cover all the movies, those which have come till now, and we have come to know about all the deaths, that it is the curse, the deaths of the entire bloodline of people who survived in Skyview, i.e. this curse is of the same curse. It started from here, so basically it is a kind of curse which happens because of death. And this happened in 1969, and Aris was the first one to sense this thing. And since then, those who wanted to die inside that Skyview, Death cursed their bloodline, and only after that, all the people have ended up here, i.e. in the previous movies, everything was happening because of this. And this is what I liked about this movie, is that here finally things have been explained. So here, now in the party, a glass piece goes into the drink, and there was a garden tool under the drumline, and people were jumping on the drumline, but Darlene sees the tool and moves it away. Probably Darlene also knew something here. Now here Stephanie also understood Death's plan. She comes to the party, but his late Death starts his work by which a bottle falls on the water pump and turns it on. The water of the pump collects in a pipe at one place, which starts dropping the tools, and the drink with the glass piece fell down, whose glass piece hits Howard's foot. He slips and falls down. And now the garden tools were falling due to water pressure. He falls on the grass cutter and starts it, and it goes straight into Howard's face, which kills him right there. After his funeral, Stephanie reads the book and finds a name in it, which was JB, which she got from a survivor. And JB is the name that the Final Destination fans know. And don't so wait a minute, Stephanie also makes his family tree, which includes Aris, Paul, their children Howard and Darlene, and on Howard's children like Bobby, Eric and Julia, while Darlene's children Stephanie and Charlie. She explains all this to her family and tells them that day everyone was supposed to die inside Skyview. But Aris saved everyone. Actually, Death's work was left incomplete, so she has returned and is claiming her victims. And the biggest thing is that victims who should not have survived started their own family, so ultimately this family tree should never have been, due to which Death is claiming them all, and slowly, that is. This was happening for years, that since 1969, now Death is ending the bloodline of Aris, in which she will work according to the order. So first of all, oldest. That is, the oldest Howard is gone, and now his son Eric is left, then Julia, and then Bobby. And then it will be Darlene's turn, and after that daughter Stephanie and son Charlie's turn. Now, no one believes her words. Everyone was thinking that she is crazy like Aris do, to which she gets very upset, and then she feels how Aris felt. That is when we see Eric the same night who was at his tattoo parlor, and here he was making a tattoo in memory of his father. Then some stuff falls from the music base on the table, which drops the chemical bottle. The chain near the fan on the other side breaks. The needle gets stuck in his nose, piercing. He tries to remove it, but by now the chemical has caught fire and the fire spreads throughout the parlor. The next morning, Stephanie wakes up Charlie and tells him that they have to go save Eric. They go to his house, which was actually safe because he survived the accident last night. Stephanie tells him to be careful, but he doesn't listen, and Julia also arrives, who is not listening to Stephanie. Everyone thinks that all this is just an accident. Now Stephanie's attention is on Eric. Then Julia, who is on the roadside, gets hit by a ball and falls into a trash bin. The trash truck dumps the bin inside, which she also fell into. People try to save her, but she ends up in the middle of the cover. In the next scene, the whole family is very upset, where Stephanie tells that Death is very smart, and she told them all about Death's plan, because of which Death changed his plan and changed his orders, and now anyone can die at any time. But Eric's mother says that it is not like that. The order is the same, because Eric is not Howard's son. They had an affair somewhere which produced Eric, so he was not in the bloodline. That means that is why he survived, and Julia was Howard's first child, so she died. Eric is saddened by this, and now Stephanie says that they have to save Bobby. Now she tells that in the book it is explained like maths how to escape death, and now they have to go to find JB as well. Now Darlene says that she came to know from Aris' letter that JB actually works in a hospital. Everyone starts going there, and Bobby also goes with them to stay safe. Now on the way, Stephanie talks to Darlene, and Darlene says that she saw Aris afraid of death since childhood, and she herself started thinking about Stephanie and Charlie's deaths. But by doing this, she would have ruined their childhood like her own, so she left them. Finally, they go to the hospital and meet JB, whom we have seen in previous movies, whom we thought was Death, and some believed that he is an angel who can stop death. But here it is revealed that he is the son of the singer who survived on Skyview that day. Yes, now further he found Aris and met him, both did research, and later both got cancer. He further says that there are only two ways to escape death. One is to kill someone so that his life will be given to that person, or kill yourself, and a girl has already done this. She had died, but later she was brought back to life with medical care. She was out of the target list of death. That means the cycle was broken. The circle was broken, and Death felt that it had claimed her, due to which she survived. JB further says that now she also has cancer, so she is going to spend her last time. He wants to spend his time well and leaves from there. End. In real life, legend Tony also died due to cancer. Todd is no more with us, so rest in peace. Now here Stephanie starts thinking about what they will have to do. Meanwhile, Eric takes Bobby with him. He says that he is allergic to peanuts, and if he eats it, he will get sick and will die. Then they will save him at the last moment, i.e. the cycle will break. Now these people take peanut biscuits, but he gets stuck in the machine, on which Eric hits it in anger. So actually the glass itself had broken by tilting the machine. He takes out a biscuit from which a spring comes out. Now both of them go to the MRI room in front, where the magnetic field intensifies as the machine is switched on, which starts to spread through Eric's body. She started pulling the piercing, and behind it there was a chair, and that too comes in the machine. So now he gets crushed and dies. And here, but don't think too much how this happened. This is a movie, anything can happen here, and the biggest thing is that here Death was making everything stronger. Anyway, Bobby was still alive, but when the nurse opens the door, so that the front same spring breaks and comes on the machine, and it tears the head of Bobby standing in the way, so that he too dies, means Death claimed more people. Well, till now, Stephanie has lost a lot. She was very upset, because things get worse when you try to trick Death, and then she talks to Darlene and Charlie, where Darlene says that she will stay in the Aris cabin, where Aris was safe for decades, so she can stay there too, but both of them go with her. Now after they leave, we see the coin that fell there, which a lady keeps with her, and I would like to remind you once again that from the first part till now, all the people who were dying should have actually died at Skyview in 1969, but those people were not there yet. They survived, they started their own family, and after that Death was claiming them all, and until all these people are not killed, Death is not going to stop. And I think here one more thing is that Death, surely she gave this vision to Ice on purpose. Because she knows how humans are, she will save people. And because of that, Death will get a lot of people to kill. And I think there is a demonic curse. It is definitely a demon who might be controlling death or something. It could be, but imagine if it is shown that after doing a ritual in future, due to which such a demon came here, who is doing such things, then how wild can it be anyway? Now here. But the cabin was locked, so Stephanie breaks the main entrance and goes inside, due to which the light cable gets disturbed and sparking starts. She goes inside, her seatbelt got stuck, and she asks Darling to go inside, so that if she survives, then Stephanie herself will also be safe. But a pin breaks and falls inside, which turns on the cylinder. Due to the spark, there was a blast. Due to the impact, the truck falls in the water, in which Stephanie starts drowning. Now here, Darlene was killed when a pillar fell on her, and Charlie goes to save Stephanie, who is unconscious, and when he revives her, he says that she was dead, so now she is alive, which means the cycle is broken. But both of them are very sad for their mother Darlene. Now in the next scene, Charlie goes to his date's house with whom Stephanie had gone with, basically who was Aris's. These people had gone inside the cabin, they had gone inside Darlene's RV, and inside the RV itself, seatbelt, etc., got stuck and talking about Charlie. He had saved Stephanie by removing the seatbelt and had given her CPR, meaning he had cheated death too. Now we see that nearby that lady is carrying some stuff, due to which that coin slipped and got stuck in the railway track, which is a very alarming thing, meaning the situation has still not improved. And here I had told you from the beginning that whatever had started was going to happen with this coin. And now look here, whatever will end here will also happen with this coin. Here Stephanie and Charlie meet the doctor, who tells them that on that day, Stephanie must have just fainted. She was not dead. On hearing this, both of them get worried, because the cycle is still going on. That is, to end means that the heartbeat stops, breathing stops, everything is completely finished. And after that, if it is regenerated properly, then it is believed that yes, it was finished. But those people never cheated death, due to which they get very worried. They had come to know that death is about to come to them. Then a strange thing happened therefrom. They started having feelings now, and in the meantime, the train was falling because of that coin. That is, the coin was stuck inside the track, due to which the train slipped from the track and came on the road. Now Stephanie and Charlie run very fast. They think that maybe they have been saved, but then the big wooden logs from above the train fall down and kill both of them one by one, and I believe that this was a very brutal death in this. Literally, the wooden logs in the movie had fallen on both of them. Both of them got crushed. We went there, and here we see that the curse and death was continuing. After this, we see many newspaper cuttings that the families who had survived and whose families were still intact were all being killed one by one, and boom, with this, the Final Destination, the Bloodlines movie ends here. So friends, this was the in-depth explanation of Bloodlines, the Final Destination story of the Bloodlines movie. I hope that now you must have understood all the movies, that what was their concept, that the deaths were not happening randomly there, but the reason for it was this. Everything was this, and this thing I had thought long ago that here, surely something like this must have happened. I also thought I had brought a video before this. But as you must have seen, for a long time no video had come on the channel, so some personal problems are going on, due to which I have not uploaded any video here. In fact, I had also prepared the script of the video, but I thought let's do it. It doesn't matter, now that the movie has come out, we will explain it in detail. So I hope you have understood the movie and the whole timeline things well. There was a curse which started because of death. It started because of Iris. Iris saw a lot of things here, due to which she saved all the people who were about to die on Skyview that day in 1969. But what happened was that she saved everyone. They became families because of that, and death didn't like this thing at all. After that, people started dying one by one. We're gone, and until all these people are not finished, death will not stop. So if you like the video, then like it. And if you are new to the channel, then subscribe so that I will meet you all with the next video. Till then, stay safe.